the objective. Clear their asses out. I was toast. Let's move. Hostiles on. Here we go. Capture the headquarters.
I'm white A.
Hostile enemies contesting the objective. Clear their asses. Hostile long gun neutralized.
So there's no denying in Black Ops 6 the skill-based matchmaking is incredibly strong. And there's no real other way to say it, but it sometimes ruins the game. Sometimes it feels like you get a 3-kill streak and you're against a CDL pro in your next game. But not even the next game, it doesn't send you right back. You're against CDL pros and absolute sweats for like the next 5 matches and you just want to go off the game. And you go on the next day and the process just repeats. But trust me when I tell you, and if this gameplay in the background is anything to go by, it can be beaten. It just takes the right combination of factors, which I'm going to tell you about in this video, so you can get yourself some nice easy lobbies just like the one I got right here. So in case you don't know how skill-based matchmaking works, it's an algorithm-based system that helps pair players with like equal skill levels in the same lobbies, which on the face of it doesn't sound too bad, but the problem with Call of Duty is most people come in this game and join pub matches just to chill, but because you're in an equal skill base, you're most likely going to win 50% of your gunfights, which means that you're never really going to be able to shine and have a really good match, and this is especially prevalent at the high levels where like pretty much if you have a KD over 1.5 you're going to be playing against players with like equal KDs, so realistically it's just a sweat lobby of people using the best guns and just trying to get like a 3 or 5 kill streak, which can be tough and extremely demoralizing. And the main issue is that the old Call of Duties used to be completely random, which, don't get me wrong, still meant that some matches were extremely sweaty, but it also meant that most games, if you're a decent player, is going to be against like 5 or 6 other players which are going to be worse than you, so you can have fun, run about, use different weapons and not be stuck on using the best weapon in the game all the time. He says as he's literally using the Tanto against some absolute bots. Proof of this is that I bet that 50 to 60% of people watching this video have never actually seen a nuke called in the public match. If you have seen, let me know down below. It'd be a nice little experiment, but it's just kind of proof that it's impossible to pop off, and very rarely does someone have an extremely good game unless they maneuver past the skill-based matchmaking system, which I'm going to tell you about in a second. But you'll rarely see a nuke because you'll rarely see anyone in a lobby where they're able to actually get a 30 kill streak. And let's be honest, if a player's put in the highest skill-based matchmaking possible, it doesn't matter how good they are, it doesn't matter if they're scump, it doesn't matter if they're hawk knock, they're not really going to get a nuke against like 11 other CDL pros or people of equal skill level.
Hostile confirmed.
Yeah.
So there's no be all and end all one solution to this. Skill-based matchmaking is always going to be on. You can't just turn it off. So that's why you gotta focus more on evading it more than just overcoming it, because it's something that can never be fixed. So recently Activision themselves tried to fix the issue of VPNing, and people would use VPNs to avoid skill-based matchmaking because they would try and change their internet to somewhere that has a significantly lower player base, which means skill-based matchmaking has less players to choose from, which means it goes a lot easier on you and you have a lot easier lobbies. Now this is something we will revisit. However, the use of the VPN has been patched with Activision's introduction of a ping threshold, which means players on an incredibly high ping were being filtered out of the game. Now, if you use a VPN, you can redirect your location and the players that you connect to, but you can't change your ping to the actual game server. So if you VPN to the other side of the planet where the lobbies might be a little bit easier, then you're going to have like 200, 250 ping. You're going to get filtered out. You're not going to get in the game. And in addition to that, Activision can see you've got a high ping consistently in a certain region, and which means they don't need Ricochet to detect you, and you will most likely get shadow banned. Now I've seen this in a few cases and we all know how terrible a shadow ban is, so we want to avoid that, but we can still take the basic principle of using a VPN, which is trying to reduce the number of players. As if there's a lower number of players, that means there's less players on the skill that you are, which means that the game slowly has to force in players that are worse and worse, because skill-based matchmaking isn't like extremely strict. Sometimes it can feel like it, where it takes ages to find a game, but eventually, if there's no other players around your skill level or of the higher skill level, then it's going to filter in the lower players and your lobbies are going to get so much easier. And this is the exact premise that I take into account whenever I develop my strategy for avoiding skill-based matchmaking, as you can see with this lobby in the background. But the first thing to consider is the game mode. Now this one can be a little bit frustrating, because most people in the game like to play hardpoint or domination, and I'm telling you right now, those two game modes are the hardest. I'm gonna let this play out because this clip's pretty nice.
We are taking the headquarters.
LDBR, ready for launch.
Hostile gone.
Now you'd think with rank play coming out, all the sweats would kind of be in rank play instead of public hardpoint, but trust me, that's not the case. I'd say hardpoint is maybe the worst, and to avoid this, I play headquarters. Now this kind of is a bit different for me because I used to play Call of Duty since Call of Duty 4, and headquarters used to be the main game mode. There was no hardpoint, so I can jump in and enjoy headquarters just as much. And if you haven't played, I'd recommend checking it out, because especially whenever you kill their whole team and they have to respawn whenever they've capped the headquarters, they usually spawn in one location and you can get some pretty nice multi-kills. But this, combined with the fact that lobbies usually don't have as many people, and the people playing headquarters are usually the lads and dads, trust me, you're going to have a much nicer experience. And just by changing your game mode to that, it's going to improve it so much. And I know I'm kind of letting go of my secret here, but realistically, how many people are going to watch this and start playing headquarters? Not enough to affect me. And let's be honest, there's probably more game modes in headquarters, maybe kill confirmed, other things I haven't really tested out because I haven't really felt the need to. But definitely try and test out some of the lower player game modes, as I'm sure there's definitely some out there that have not as many players as well, which means that realistically your lobbies are going to be a lot easier. So do experiment and play about with that. The next factor that I find is the time of day when you play. Again, this is heavily linked to decreasing the number of players available, and honestly, the best time I have to play pub matches is on a Sunday night, and I mean like a late Sunday night. You're talking like post 10 o'clock. This lobby was achieved then, and let me tell you, the difference in the Sunday night lobbies is crazy. Now I think it's because on a Sunday night most people are hopping off early, getting ready for a nice week at work or school, and here's me jumping on ready to finally enjoy some Black Ops public matches. I mean, it's a little bit sad when you think about it, but I don't really care. Try a lobby on a Sunday night and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. All the lads and dads are out, and boy, they do not shoot back. Other times you could maybe try is during the day, but you really want to try and avoid the peak times, which I find is like Friday and Saturday about 6 o'clock. The skill-based matchmaking is off the charts. Friday evening in general is just generally the passion pit, but this is something frustrating because you can't really avoid or like pick and choose your time to play. I know most people are very busy individuals, and playing on a Sunday night might not be ideal because you're waking up tired on a Monday. But it's the harsh reality. If you want easy lobbies, you gotta be careful what times you're playing at. And if you can't avoid it, it is also good just to know this, so that if you're jumping on at a peak time, you know you're just gonna expect to be in an absolute sweat fest. Now, if neither of these things work, a really good strategy is also, if there's one person that's absolutely dominating your lobby, just block them. The game's gonna really try and avoid putting you in this lobby again with this player, so if they're good and they're destroying you, just get them blocked.
Securing the edge.
Oh man, I thought that was your name.
Offline. Locating the next objective.
They've 10 rounds in that game, but
No, but in all seriousness, if you're using these tactics and you're still getting really hard lobbies, sometimes you can just get caught in a cycle. And that means that maybe some of the people are using these tactics and they're better players and you're not having a fun time. Just wait. The next time you finish a game with them, just give it like 5-10 seconds. Let them guys search, join a lobby, and then they'll join a lobby and then you'll avoid them. Sometimes it's just about avoiding parties, because I know I found some easy lobbies before, but then all of a sudden like a 3-man comes on and they're somewhat competent and they can just ruin it. So the best thing to do, give it a few minutes before searching again, because if you just keep searching and searching, they're most likely doing the same thing. Back out of the loop, because this game does end the lobby, but usually if it can't find anyone else, which is going to be the case with this tactic, it's going to stick you back in. You're going to be playing against the same players and you're going to get smoked again, or maybe not smoked, but you're just not going to have as fun of time. So that's it. That's how I avoid skill-based matchmaking and get much easier lobbies, meaning I can enjoy public matches just like you used to. Well, not exactly like the olden days, but as close as possible. So, in summary, try and play at times or play game modes that are going to reduce the number of players. If you get stuck in a particularly difficult lobby, let the lobby cool a little bit. Maybe that's your perfect time to change game modes, and hopefully your lobbies will get much easier. So I wish you good luck. It is rough out there, but once you get the right lobby, this game is a lot of fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, a like and subscribe would like be really sick too. Cheers.